Well, this may come as somewhat of a surprise, especially, because Charles Barkley is an NBA legend. He's actually great at his job actually on TNT. He makes it entertaining. I used to actually like watching on Charles, Kenny, and Shaq when I actually used to watch the NBA. I don't watch it anymore. It's become way, way, way too political. No doubt about it, Charles Barkley, before the woke times, used to be a straight shooter. However, Barkley has said some pretty woke things in the past 3 years post George Floyd. Barkley was the kind of person that would actually go out there and say, I am not a role model. Parents should be role models. And today, the American left, they would actually consider that, some type of a white supremacist statement. But he was right about that. He was a basketball player, not a role model. Now, if people want to look up to him, because of his game, yeah, that's fine. Rhodes has been very, very clear that Charles Barkley is his favorite NBA player of all time. Well, that brings us to one CNN. CNN is a struggling network, to say the least. They've had a bunch of people over there that have lost their job. Jeff Zucker used to be the president or CEO of CNN. He got fired. Chris Cuomo, he's gone. He got fired. Brian Stelter, he got fired. Don Lemon, man, we've done videos on Don Lemon here on this channel. He is one step from being out of there. And the only reason why Don Lemon is actually still there is because he's black and he's gay. If he was a straight white man, he would have been out of there already. CNN has a problem when they're actually trying to be more like MSNBC. Now, MSNBC has the wokest of the wokest. I mean, they are so woke, they actually make CNN look kind of sane. Now, CNN has been saying, they want to try to get back to the middle. I don't know if they can. Their ratings are in the trash. In the trash. So can Charles Barkley actually come over to CNN and actually save it? It seems like he's entertaining it, but he truly does not want to do it. We'll get into that. Because Barkley has even come out and he has slammed CNN for being a disaster. And it is a disaster. Look here on Breitbart. Charles Barkley considering CNN gig to help failing shit show network. That is his words right there. He said that about CNN. Now, the only reason why he's even considering this is because of one person that works at CNN, Gayle King. Other than that, Charles Barkley basically is saying, I don't want to deal with CNN whatsoever. But let's read this, guys. Sports broadcaster and former NBA star Charles Barkley is considering taking a job at CNN to help the failing network regain its former glory. Barkley claimed that CNN is wooing him to team up with Gayle King for a show on the news network, though the deal is far from complete. Quote, we don't have anything set in stone. I'm only considering it because of my respect for Gayle, Barkley told the New York Post on Thursday. Barkley added that he has no interest in doing a daily show on CNN, adding, quote, that is never going to happen. Now, I remember Charles Barkley on, if I'm not mistaken, I believe this was actually last year. He was talking about, turning 60 and then pretty much retiring or from everything, or at least, from the NBA on TNT. Now he has a contract that actually runs through 2025. But I'm finding it hard to believe that Charles Barkley is 60 now. I mean, some of my favorite NBA players now are 60 years old. Michael Jordan, 60. Hakeem Olajuwon, 60. Charles Barkley is 60. Time is flying. Another story, so I digress. Let's continue on. The 60-year-old sportsman recently signed a 10-year deal with Warner Brothers Discovery, the parent company of TNT and TBS. But the deal might be affected if Warner loses its NBA contract at the end of the 2025 season. Still, Warner Discovery also owns CNN, so it isn't out of the question that Barkley could maintain his TNT basketball analysis deal along with appearing on CNN. One reason is he is considering the deal is that CNN is spiraling down the tubes, and he feels he might be able to help lift it back up. Well, even if he actually does that, the man doesn't want this gig. He said he doesn't want to do a daytime talk show. He doesn't want to do that. I mean, Barkley, he talked for many, many years about going into politics. He always talked about running for the governor of Alabama. He never did it. Do I actually want to see Charles Barkley on CNN? No, I don't. But this is what he said about CNN. Quote, I just want to help the company because obviously it is a shit show right now. Anything I can do to help, Barkley said. No, I guess he just wants to help Gayle King and not necessarily CNN. CNN recently hit ratings at a 9-year low, so Barkley's shit show comment was putting it mildly. Yeah, almost a decade low. It is bad, and they're losing people on a daily basis. CNN's latest CEO, Chris Light, has been desperately casting a wide net for personalities that might bring viewers back to the failing network that was once the top name in cable news. They used to call CNN, if I'm not mistaken, the most trusted name in cable news. Now we all know that they just engage in fake news and nothing more. Now, Barkley doing this, I don't know, man. I don't know if he's truly seriously considering this, but maybe if the money's right, maybe so. Also, we'll get to see how left-wing Charles Barkley really is. Barkley used to be very, very base in what he actually says. And you know what? Maybe CNN wants to get back to more of being more in the middle. Maybe Charles actually do that. I'm not really sure. He's definitely said some left-wing stuff before in the past 3 years. But overall, with the people that actually watch Charles Barkley on sports actually cross over to watch him on CNN, I'm not really sure. I really don't have any idea. But Charles Barkley coming out and calling CNN a shit show, I agree with him 1,000% on that. It's bad over there at CNN. Very, very bad. You know what? Just let them burn. Let them go down in flames because they did it to themselves. They absolutely did it to themselves. But that's just my thoughts on this. What do you guys think of this? Black and White Network fans, let us know what you think about all this in the comments. Make sure to subscribe to the channel, and we'll catch you next time.